Hello, this is Roger Shouse, and this is Jumpstart Rewind. This is part of our Heaven Bound podcast family. Job chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speak. Shall we indeed accept good from God and not accept adversity?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. Our verse today illustrates the differences in faith in dealing with troubles that often exist within a marriage. Much too often we assume that the husband and wife are at the same place spiritually. We assume that they go through life seeing the same things on the same level and on the same page about everything. What a major assumption and mistake that is. It's easy to forget that Job's wife also suffered. She was the one who bore those 10 children that all died. It was her lifestyle that was dramatically turned upside down by the raids and tax and theft. And now her husband's health was failing. After this rebuke from Job, we don't hear any more about her until the last chapter, where she again has another 10 children. I've been asked if I think that she is the same wife as in the beginning. In our times, bearing 20 children is unheard of. There's nothing in the text to make me think that she walked away or that she died and that Job remarried. Those assumptions cannot be proven biblically. The words of Job's wife, "curse God and die," seem to indicate that Satan got to her. This is what Satan wanted to do to Job. It worked with Job's wife. With worthless friends, dead children, and now your companion in life tossing in the towel, the picture given to us is that Job was all alone. Who could he talk to? Who would encourage him? Who would comfort him? Now there are some lessons here we ought to see. First, a husband and wife do not suffer nor grieve the same way. This tends to be the way we are wired. Women in general like talking and sharing with other women. We guys keep things to ourselves. We, with other men, we talk sports, politics, and fun things to do. We don't open up very often. Maybe we ought to. Maybe we need to. And because of that, many men have only superficial friends. There's nothing very deep because we don't go deep. We can keep an image in a wall around us. So in comforting a family that's gone through some tragedy, remember that the man and the woman deal with those things differently. The man may say, "We are fine," meaning I'm fine. This is why shepherds in helping a family through a crisis needs to talk to both a man and a woman, and they may need to talk to them separately. Second, our verse reminds us that Job and his wife were not at the same place spiritually. Mrs. Job was done. She had enough. She was calling surrender. Her faith was not as strong as his faith. Interestingly, neither Job's friends nor God talks to Job's wife. All the conversations focus upon Job. So this reminds us that two people sit beside each other on a pew on Sunday morning do not have the same faith. One may be bored and the mind wandering. The other may be engaged and connecting deep with passages and praise to the Lord. Job's reply to his wife is that she was speaking as a non-believer. He said, "You speak as one of the foolish women. Foolish as one who says there is no God. Foolish as one who no longer believes that God's in control. Foolish as one who thinks our problems are greater than God. Foolish as one who thinks God cannot do something. Foolish as one who happily accepts the blessings of God, but not the adversity from God." Our verse ends with this tag, "In all of this, Job did not sin with his lips." I wonder if we are to assume that Job's wife did sin with her lips. Thirdly, husbands and wives need to help each other on this journey of life. There are times when discouragement may get the best of one of us. The other is there to be the encouragement, to remind, and to help. Many of us preachers would have punched the lights out of some thoughtless brother had not been the words of our wives calming us down, reminding us of Jesus. That marriage vow of in sickness and health, richer or poorer, is more than just a definition of life's journey. It is a plan and a pattern that we will be there for each other. Physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, there's a need for encouragement, for warnings, for help and support that helps each other through the difficult moments we call life. Job's words to his wife are blunt. He was grieving. He was hurting. He was trying to figure things out. His words are a stern reminder to his wife that God has always been there for them. This was not the time to give up. This was not a Titanic moment. Together, they should have prayed. Together, they should have gone to the scriptures. Together, they should have cried and reminded each other that they still had each other. That's the way they started. That's the way they were at that moment. Not knowing if they would ever see blessings again. Not understanding why all this happened so quickly. More questions than absolutes. It is those moments that will pull a couple together or will be the scissors that severs the marriage forever. I've seen it both ways. Standing across the body of a 16-year-old as a sheet was pulled over his head, parents on the other side sobbing. I told them this will draw you closer or it will pull you apart. Within a few months, they divorced. It is important for husbands and wives to understand that we are wired differently and to understand each other. What works for me may not work for my wife. Men need to shepherd their families, and this begins by understanding them and what works. Job and his wife. What an interesting study. Thank you so much for listening.